Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing WWC Week 8 recap and Week 9 pick'ems. I am not alone today though, I do have two analysts with me. I always butcher that freaking word. Two analysts with me today in Bored. Bored, you're quiet again and it's not me this time. I'll try doing what I can here. And you go by Altaria or Cameruption now?
More of Cameruption, but I still respond to Altaria. I don't know, I changed my name, it's weird.
Okay, and Cameruption, Altaria, interchangeable, I guess, is joining us for the first time here.
So,
yes. We do one little cleanup thing here. Power rankings are now down to 4 as our pick'ems. Clem is no longer an analyst for WWC, he's just too busy, so... kind of saw that coming the past few weeks. I haven't been able to talk much from his side, so wish him the best. He's still a coach. We didn't have any dropouts this week, but we're good. So, starting off, bottom part of the league as usual with the power rankings. Matthias and the West Texas Leafeons, 1-7, minus 26, sitting in 16th. No change there, as has been pretty consistent all season. Really, Mama played a pretty good game against me. Her biggest mistake in my mind was first making the switch, thinking that I was choice locked on my Nidoking. That gave me huge momentum there. And then second was allowing Weavile to take so much chip damage late game. Had Weavile not had the chip that it had, I don't think I could have beaten Weavile, personally. That Weavile was putting in a little too much damage to me, and I had to get enough chip on it with Umbreon in order for me to even stand a chance at breaking it at the end of that game. What are your thoughts on this board?
Yeah, I don't know how you could have prevented Weavile chip in that match. I think she just sort of at that point had to play it out. I've been losing Swallow the early, in a lot because it's T-Bolt predictions, so...
Bored, you are roboting so hard.
Yeah, I know, I can hear myself in the play.
What about you, Cameruption? What do you think?
yeah, I think losing Swallow was huge. Maybe switching to, literally, turn 2 of the match was probably a bit too risky. You never want to assume something's choice locked because it can just screw you over like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I brought once this season non-choice lock Nidoking, so, I mean, it was a fair read, but...
every time I see a Nidoking, the immediate assumptions are, it's either Scarf or Life Orb,
Yeah, I favor Specs. I favor the Specs Nidoking over the Scarf Nidoking. But, I don't know. Moving into 15th here with no change. 2-6, minus 16. Philadelphia Fantrops and Lord Ixie. Did pick up a win against Nikki, and I just realized that I forgot to fix this. Again. Okay. You didn't see anything, people watching this. It's fixed. He picked up a 1-0 victory over Nikki. Honestly, I think that match was way too close for Lord Ixie's comfort. That match easily could have been more than a 1-0, but his play there at the end, as well as Nikki's, kind of threw me for a loop there. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it, Altaria?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for a minute there, it looked like he was actually going to lose. When I saw the Thunderous, had to click Hidden Power at the very end, I was thinking it was just, Hidden Power Ice, which definitely would not have killed the Venusaur. But the HP flying was good prep.
Your thoughts, Bored?
Yeah, HP flying came in really clutch. Apart from that, still Commander is more Nikki, but he was very led into the match due to some misplays.
Yeah, I mean, no one's out of playoffs yet, but Lord Ixie needs to do more than 1-0 for this one to make up ground, because he's in a really bad division. Nikki, the loser of that match, 2-6 now, minus 11, falling one position down to 14th. I will admit that I was a little too ghosty in this match. I 100% admit that. That's something I gotta watch myself, but once again, Nikki just... Oh, I don't know. He just made a couple of plays that really bothered me. I know you guys are really hung up on not ice beaming. I think the ice beam play was fine, not ice beaming there. I just wish Nikki would realize that even if he drops a Draco while he's spexed, he only goes to -1 instead of -2, which would have put in enough damage to kill the Infernape had the Infernape switched. I know the Infernape's not going to switch in on a Kyurem potentially dropping a Draco or an Earth Power, but I thought that was okay in my mind. But the switching out and that with Mandibuzz in front of him, that really bothered me. He let Mandibuzz get too healthy by continuously trying to throw sludge bombs at it, and that wasn't going to work. And I wish he had switched that. So, Bored, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, okay, so yeah. Oh wait, my voice is back. Anyway, point about the Mandibuzz, as soon as you realise that it's out healing your damage, go back and kill him. Like, and that actually cost him the game. Because if you go back to kill him, you couldn't ice beam, kill, Bernard comes in, you switch back into Mega Vino, and then the -1 there from cross combat, you kill it then it's killing me funding. Oh, and that's like one possible way it could have gone.
Yeah. Your thoughts, Cameruption?
I think y'all pretty much said most of it.
Got it? Okay.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
not like I felt like some of the ice beams were just super free. Many good switch-ins on Lord HP's side, but you know.
Yeah, that Kyurem could have put in work. And once again, Mimikyu. It's a shame what's happening with Mimikyu this season.
Yeah, that was my other point. Was he left Mimikyu in on a Cobalion, which I didn't particularly like because Shadow Sneak did nowhere near its damage.
Yeah, he needed to scout and see if it was faster than his Mimikyu, because then he could have known if he could have Drain Punched or not. Because that would have hurt.
Yeah. I did point he's like tried to Mimikyu sweep and failed, so he might as well run a bandit or something and like focus on another sweeper, which is what.
I'm not laughing at you, Bored. I'm laughing at your connection.
Like, it's fun. What can I say?
13th, moving up one spot, is myself at 3-5, -5, picking up a win over Mama. I didn't play a good game in my mind. Like, I played a good game, but I didn't play a great game that I needed to play. I lost Gliscor. Like, that was really just how that went down. I can't believe Gliscor went down like that. I did make the good prediction. I kind of figured she'd think I was locked and go into Swellow, which is why I didn't lock myself. I set up with Kartana, but again, if it wasn't for the fact that I was able to get enough chip on Weavile, I think I lose this match to Weavile. What is going on? Who is scratching things? Okay, whatever. What are your thoughts on this, Altaria?
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point in like the playoff race, you know, any win is at least something. I will say I really like the Dark Z Kartana bring.
Glad someone's a fan of it, because
Yeah.
Shadow didn't like it.
No, Dog Seeker it's cool, especially when it kills a mon which would often just sacrifice so you can't get beast boost from it, so
Yeah,
that was the other thing that I didn't realize that like with the Z move you did ignore the mummy.
Yeah, that's the whole reason. Yeah, that's the whole reason.
I found that out watching, that was cool.
Yeah, that was the whole reason for Dark Z, was so I didn't take the mummy contact, because then I could set up more, basically free SDs by killing things. And so then I could knock off after that, but I mean, at +3, what really on our team stood a chance from getting hit, but still, I don't know. I liked it, but anyways. 12th, not moving anywhere, 3 and 5, +9, or -9, not +9. Rye and the Washington Brivaries. This was basically a snooze fest. We can all agree on that. Guy ended up forfeiting to Rye, so Rye picks up his win. And the 3-0. Not much else to say. Slick is in 11th at 3 and 5, -2, moving down a position. Slick had such a head of steam and just ran into... oh crap, why can I not remember who he just played?
I think it was Dragoon.
Was it?
It was Dragoon.
Okay, yeah, he ran into the rain buzzsaw. Yeah, I don't know really what all to make of this match. I'm going to pass this off to you guys. What are your thoughts, Bored?
I think there's very little we could do to actually like, stop the loss. I'm pretty sure Robot Boy's back. Let's go. Anyway, so Toxic on the Diagonal like really mattered because then it whirled down Diagonal. He couldn't get rid of rocks, and then he just got chipped. That's essentially it.
Yeah, pretty much. Anything you want to add to that?
One thing that kind of confused me with his prep was that he didn't bring Shaman, which I thought was really weird considering it's against the Mega Swampert. Or did he draw it? I don't...
No, he still got Shaman. He didn't bring it. I don't know if he was scared of Torn T or not, but still.
That's not like it's really weird, but...
I don't remember who it is that hates Shaman, but I know there's someone either here or PCF that just hates Shaman because it's blind.
Oh no. Shaman's the blindest monster in Misty Flares and cost you a game.
It didn't cost me a game when I had it in APA, so... But, anyways, Spare in the Ottawa Center, it's on a roll here now. They're 4 and 4 +1, 10th position, moving up 1. This is the Spare that I've been missing. This is the Spare from Season 1 that you guys have no idea. This is the Spare that... Who touched the dock? Who's touching the dock? Bored, stop touching the dock!
So, I'll stop.
I don't know what you did, but all of a sudden the numbers went flying sideways.
I think I fixed it.
Okay.
It says.
Okay, cool. This is the Spare from Season 1. This is the kind of, like, domineering performance that I was looking for most of the season. Controlled the match, just kept it in front of him right where he needed it. I'm pulling up this thing because I can't remember who he played. Clem. Taunt Crobat was great. Just... I don't know if Clem just isn't in it right now, but this is what Spare did last season to people. He came in and he just took care of business and marched his way into the championship. What are your guys' perspective on this, coming outside seeing this? Like, honestly, I'm kind of thinking that Spare is just screwing with the entire league. Like, he let everybody think he was going to be... Can't defend his champion, wasn't good, and now he's just gonna run through the league to finish it off. And maybe he'll be the one that kills Shadow. Anyways, what's your thoughts, Altaria?
Yeah, he seems to be making a comeback. Like, I think I literally said something to that effect in my power rankings, where it was like, kind of joining as an analyst for Season 2 and knowing that Spare was like the Season 1 champion but not playing really well was kind of weird to me. But like I'm starting to see it now.
How about you, Bored?
Yeah, I think I've finally seen the hype as well. But Torn Quo was really good, so is Hayes on it as well. It's nice.
Was it Hayes? Okay, yeah.
It was Torn and Hayes, pretty sure.
Hayes, yeah. And he's doing it without Megalotti and Magirna. Like, yes, Magirna is his kill leader, but recently they aren't the ones that have been putting... No, Victini's his kill leader. They aren't the ones that have been putting in the work. And so that's what's really bringing this back to Season 1, because Season 1, those two were not his kill leaders. But anyways, moving on into 9th, we have Huff at 4-4 -3, moving down 2 positions. Huff's in a bit of trouble, to be perfectly honest. With Spare coming up now in that conference, Huff is in a lot of trouble. He got body bagged pretty much by Crimson. Just unfortunately, his Raticate went down to some sketchy circumstances, if I have to say so. Arcanine just couldn't get it going. He didn't bring Seismitoad either, which might be part of the reason. He seems to do well with Seismitoad, but I don't know. Huff's in danger right now, in my mind. What about you, Bored?
I mean, yeah, about now. Raticate, nah. What? 10-16. So, anyway, I wanted that Arcanine set to work so badly. It would have been so hype. I was watching Agility Offensive Arcanine sweep. But, didn't happen.
What about you, Cameruption?
Yeah, so, I don't know, Huff is in kind of like this... He feels like he's just having a, like, for lack of better words, like a .500 season. Like, he's probably going to finish, like, 6-6 or something. And, you know, whether that's good enough for playoffs or just misses it is just kind of going to depend on the other people.
Yeah. I mean, can we all agree that he's extremely creative with his sets, though?
I love watching, like, whatever wacky sets he has.
Like,
oh yeah, there's some great sets of rooms.
It's just amazing. The fact that he turned Seismitoad into a 10-kill mon already, I mean, that's pretty good. So, moving into the top, I jumped ahead, sorry. Spoilers. Moving into the top half of the league, there's a lot of movement this week in the top 8. First off, we have Damien and the Dutch Weaviles moving down 2 spots into 8th, 4-4 +3. Damien is in a bit of a slump. He's got probably the toughest schedule remaining, with matches against Clem, Ga, Rye, and Spare. Like, he's got to go through... Oh, no, that's Shadow, not Ga. He's basically got to go through the top 3 coaches in PCF to get into playoffs. It almost, and I think one of you mentioned it, or maybe it was Shadow, but it almost seems like he's playing backwards. He's using a breaker as a sweeper and a sweeper as a breaker. I don't remember exactly who said that, but I think one of you did. I don't know. I am concerned about this, especially going into this gauntlet. Is sand enough to keep him running? What are your thoughts? Altaria?
Sand is definitely not enough to keep him running. He sacked Exadrill before the sand even goes up. Basically that was kind of his only way to kill Sylveon this week. And instead he kind of just did some damage on a Delmaze. Wasn't enough to...
Yeah, it never should have stayed in on Delmise.
For sure.
Yeah, I think he thought he could kill with Continental Crush, but no, it's a down. It's living.
Well, and Delmise also... It resists it, doesn't it? It's grass type. Grass resists rock, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's grass type, like, unless it's like +2 the field goal. And once you lose your only ground type, Thunderous.
Well, yeah, then Thunderous just toasts you.
Yeah, you just have nothing for it. Like, nothing can take a hit from it, nothing can kill it, it's just...
Yeah. It's not good. Damien's gonna have to switch up what he's doing with Megamedi and Excadrill and probably return them back to their normal roles in order for him to have a chance to get through. That he's gonna have to win 3 out of 4, I think, in that gauntlet to have any sort of chance. So moving into 7th, we have Savage and the Baltimore Murkrows at 5-3 -2. Falling 3 positions. He is the latest to feel a Shadow beatdown, getting 5-0'd. There's really nothing Savage could do, though, this match. Like, prep and play just... he couldn't do anything. Like, Volt Turn just ran him over and chipped, and then Gallade was able to come in and punch holes, and I don't know, every time I watch one of these matches that Shadow plays, it just makes me feel so bad for his opponent. What about you, Bored?
Yeah, first time experience Shadow, it's not fun. Also, I think like as soon as Gallade came in, he still just lost it. I think.
Pretty
also,
much.
If we're talking, sorry.
I said pretty much. I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, no. Also, if we're talking about run-ins, then his next matches are Vi, G-Hall, Ben, and Matthias, and that's disgusting.
I mean, RNG was not nice in that division at all. I mean, you can't fault the fact that he's got to play Rye, because Rye wasn't originally here. That's unfortunate, just how the replacement situation came in, because, I mean, I would have had to play Rye, and that wouldn't have been good myself either, but luckily I played that team week 1, so I don't have to play Rye right now, but... yeah, it's unfortunate. He and Damien have 2 of the hardest schedules to get through.
And his division, well, it's all 5-3.
Well, I mean, that entire division has to play itself the last 3 weeks. Somebody's not making playoffs, and somebody's gonna pull out from there, I hope. What about you, Cameruption? Thoughts on Savage getting run over? I know you picked him for pick'ems last week.
Yeah, I feel dumb. No, man. He has such momentum going into this week, and then Shadow happens.
Have you learned not to pick against Shadow?
I have.
Okay, we've all come to realize that we can't pick against Shadow right now.
He's going 12-0.
I don't know. I'll talk about that when we get to him. I don't know if he's going 12-0. I think there's one person that's going to stand a chance, but we'll see. Clem, 5-3 +0, -3 spots down to 6th. Clem did not have a fun time this week at all. Spare decided to flex this week, as I said earlier, and unfortunately, no matter what Clem tried, it just didn't work. His curse, rest, Camerupt was very, very interesting, very, very strange. It almost worked, but he kind of needed another move on that. Like, this is why Gen 8 needs to give us 5 moves, or 5 moves instead of 4 moves, but I don't know. I think you were the one that talked about this certain move, Bored.
Oh yeah, so first things first, Curse Camel is amazing and should be cherished. But anyway, I think if he had Sleep Talk, it would have been even better. Because then, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
What was the full set, like, 4 moves?
It was Curse, Rest, Earthquake, I think, and something else. I don't honestly remember off the top of my head, but I'm gonna go pull it real quick. Where is that? Clem versus Spare. See if I can get it off of here real quick. The only thing is if he was Rest Talk, he would have had to carry something like Fire Blast, and only that, because otherwise if he carried like a ground move, Landorus definitely still comes in for free.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Sorry for the rapid fire clicking right by the mic. I need to figure out how to do that. Also, why is Clefable here in this match? Like, legitimately, why is Clefable here?
Yeah, that was weird. What is great about some of the stereotypes or something?
It was Curse Rest, I saw that much, but I don't know what else.
Did he attack move?
I don't think he woke up. I don't think he ever woke up to show off an attacking move. Curse Rest.
No, yeah, he just couldn't Curse Rest.
No, I don't think he ever woke up from the first sleep. Did he? No, he died before I could see it.
Honestly, it would probably be like Curse, Rest, Rock Slide.
And Fire Blast, probably. I'm scrolling up frantically while we sit here just talking to see if I can find where we talked about it. His match.
I mean, yeah, going back to the Fable, like, Sparehead, Caesar, Dino, Curse Pack, Robot, Triangle, and probably Stage Wave, Land of Light. Well, it's probably not Stage Wave, but it would be before.
Yeah. Okay, come on, I'm back in last Sunday. Where is it? Oh, there's this Poke Paste. Okay, I found it. Once this loads here, he was Amnesia, Cursed, Rest, Ironhead.
Oh my god, Amnesia? Okay, I'm done.
He was Amnesia, Cursed, Rest, Ironhead. And he was 252 HP, which he shouldn't have been. 4 defense, 252 special defense.
Oh, yes, that is amazing. Awesome Amnesia.
Curse Amnesia. Mega Camel. Oh, Clem, don't ever change. Isn't he the one that says he doesn't stall? Like, that's about as stally as you can get.
Oh, no, it's Clemmy too.
But anyways, okay, we found that. So, 5th place, moving down 5. 5 and 3 plus 5 is Ga. Again, this is the other half of the Snooze Fest. Really not much to talk about here. He just didn't get his match played. It's unfortunate. It happens. Life happens. That's why we're recording these on Saturdays now instead of Thursdays. So, I get it. It's understandable. Our top 4 outside of Shadow has shaken up too. Skyrocketing into 4th at 5 and 3 plus 5 is Matthias and the Togekiss. Again, Matthias kind of got some help with his because Damien basically gave him Excadrill for nothing, and then allowed Thundy to run around. Matthias, though, is leading his division now. Like, he's tied with Ga for the division lead. So, definitely needed this win. I just think he got a little bit more help, and that's actually why I didn't move him up as high as you guys did. Because I think you guys had him in top 3 each, or top 4. Well, no, actually, Altaria, you had him in 5th. So, yeah, you had him in 5th. What were your thoughts on this?
Pretty much, it was like, this was like a much needed win. Like, last couple of weeks, it looked like he was kind of like sliding out of the playoffs. But I don't know. This one, I don't know. He was able to capitalize on Damien making the save. And basically, he was a good team. Like, everything kind of just worked. And he definitely had help with like misplays like Damien, and then just the other the way they did.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my end or what, but you are roboting again. Or you're roboting now. Bored's not.
I think I'm roboting now.
Hey, you got the robots in season.
It's contagious.
Robot can.
Keep that away from me. How about you, Bored? What are your thoughts on Damien? Or not Damien, Matthias?
So I didn't even realise Matthias was leading his division now.
Yeah, he's...
Until I looked for Savage. Wait, what?
And the robot's back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I reached down everything. Like, finally, just it's the last clean up, and he's now in the chasing pack, chasing Shadow.
Yeah. Well, choked there for a second. Shadow is not in that conference though. That's the strange thing. Is like I didn't realize it until I was doing this today, but Shadow's not in that conference. Shadow's in the other conference. Like, he has basically a cakewalk into playoffs because this division's in the same conference as Naval, which is Crimson, and me. So actually, he doesn't have to chase Shadow. He doesn't actually have to chase Shadow at all. He doesn't have to mess with Shadow until he gets to championship, really.
Yeah.
Oh no, he plays Shadow this week, doesn't he? Yeah, he does play Shadow this week, I think.
Oh yeah, he does.
Never mind, I forgot this is the last of the cross-conference, because Shadow wanted to take on the entire front office of mine, so I was like, okay, here you go. So, because he's already played Savage, he would have played Torn, he played Ga, he played Savage, Matthias, Ga, Torn. I think that's it. Whatever, doesn't matter. Speaking of Crimson, he is in third now, also moving up 5 spots, 5-3 plus 11. If there was ever a week Crimson needed to not win, it was this one. He's going to end up running away with this division right now. He's leading the conference now, too, with this, with his differential. Just absolutely controlled the game. He got a very good hit on that Radicate, and then Huff kept sacrificing things. I think you're the one that mentioned that, Board, that Huff just kind of sacked things for no reason.
Yeah, Huff just kept, just launching style. Just like my connection, apparently.
No, actually, I think it's me now. I'm watching my,
No.
It's my connection. I'm looking at it. I gotta bounce servers again real quick. I have this very bad... I don't know if they can hear me right now because I'm switching my... I was switching my server. But my voice connection is like completely dead. And yeah, it won't even let me switch servers. Wow. Can you guys hear me now? Am I... Oh, wait. Okay, can you guys hear me now?
I can.
Yeah, I can.
No laggy, no roboty on my end?
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
Okay, I'm sitting on the US West Coast now. I had to go clear across the country to try and do this. Yeah, no, Crimson just needed to not win this one, and unfortunately he did. It's gonna put a lot of pressure on the rest of Naval Division. Oh,
Hey, you're in his division, right?
yeah, I am.
Hey, have fun with that.
Yeah, I swear that there's no colluding between myself, Lord Ixie, and Slick right now to try and figure out how the three of us beat Crimson. Because the three of us all need Crimson to lose out, and then depending on who you talk to, the rest of us need to cannibalize each other. Lord Ixie needs Slick to beat him, needs me to beat him. He needs to beat him. And then he needs Slick to lose to me. And then he has to beat Slick. And I can't beat Lord Ixie. And somehow that's how Lord Ixie gets into the playoffs. We've already talked about this. I just need to have Slick and Crimson lose 2 out of their next 4. Crimson has to lose out. Crimson has to lose out. I have to win 2, all of mine, and Slick has to lose 2 out of his next 4. And I'm in. That's all that matters. That's how I get in. Because we're all thinking division right now, because we all know that none of us are going to be able to compete with Miken. Miken's going to put 3 in the playoffs. Unless they completely cannibalize themselves. Anyways, back to the power rankings. Dragoon is not 5-2, he's 5-3. 5-3, plus 13, sitting in second, moving up 3. Rain sweeps. I don't know. That's really all there is to it. No Shaman, as we mentioned. That helps. Don't you do this, computer. I see that voice connection going into red again, and I'm going to be very upset. I just got this fixed. Altaria, what's your thoughts on Dragoon's match?
It was just a really well played game. It seemed like Slake had like a bit of weird prep. Like the Manatee set didn't outspeed the Swampert even outside of Rain. Like really well put together. I think I said in my rankings that it makes me want to try Rain, even though I'm not even good with weather. Like it just works really well.
I can tell you this: Rain is the most friendly of weathers to use. I've run it several times, and it's very, very forgiving if you screw up.
That makes sense, because you've seen how my APA season is going with Sun.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't try that one again.
Oh, for sure not. I'm like, stupid, like, it's been a bad season.
The only thing worse than Sun is hail. How about you, Bored? What are your thoughts on Dragoon?
I mean, unfortunately, I just want to be controversial and say Dun's the best weather. Anyway, I don't like Sun. Anyway, yeah, it's what I'm calling old-fashioned win, in the sense that there was no, like, major set or play, like, winning the game. It was just a very well-played battle.
Yeah. And Shadow's still... I apparently didn't update the last slide of power rankings on accident. Shadow is still number 1. He's 8-0 plus 32.
32.
Let's not talk about that. My overall career differential record right now is minus 64 after APA Season 2 finished. I would kill to be plus 32 in a league right now. He averages a 4-0. Like, that's his average margin of win is a 4-0 or better.
Ridiculous.
I don't know who's going to stop him. The only person that comes to mind is Rai, and that's because Rai somehow can get in Shadow's head. Rai has apparently got a history with Shadow and has beaten him.
Oh yeah, MPCS, Rai beat Shadow in playoffs and then got to the final, but he didn't win it, but he did beat Shadow in like first round playoffs. And also beat him in the regular season as well. So Rai can definitely beat him.
Rai may not make playoffs. I don't. Depends on how things go, but he may. Whoops, sorry about that. He may be the hiccup in Shadow's perfect run. So,
What week do they play?
they play the last week of the season. Their Week 13's match. Are we?
My issue with Rai being Shadow is that Rai's a sub, and Like, we've already seen him play a match, so it depends how used to his team he is.
By that point, by that point, I think he'll be used to his team. That's still almost a month away. There's plenty of time for him to get used to it.
Yeah.
While you guys were talking, I totally didn't just jump to the very first slide and change it to Week 9 recap, Week 10 pick'ems, because we're in Week 9 and not Week 8, and I'm just, yeah. So, anyways, moving on to transactions. So we have Lord Ixie here making a trade with Huff in order to send Xatu for Garbodor. Huff then goes and takes Xatu and drops it for Mesprit, and then takes Mesprit and swaps it back for Garbodor, because Lord Ixie was out of transactions and decided to get help from Huff. I mean, I'm perfectly okay with this. I love it when coaches help other coaches. I think it keeps the season competitive. I did it for Nikki earlier in the season. Overall, I mean, I think he was better off with Xatu than Mesprit, but that's because I don't know anything about Mesprit. What are your Bored? What's your thought on this swap?
I'm just trying to draw with this team real quick, because I personally prefer Darzuka's Magic Mouth is such a great ability. But I can see why he would want to get rid of another flying type when he has Man-Buzz and Donphan and Thunderous. He already has like 3 speakers already, so
he didn't want to become. He didn't want to become Nikki 2.0.
Yeah, yeah. It made sense for him to swap them out. He also has Rosewood. Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense for type coverage. So.
Well, you just spoiled next week's transactions because Roserade was picked up this week, but whatever. What about you, Altaria? Since I don't know anything about Mesprit, what do you think about this?
Mesprit, I think, is it's a decent mon. It's like I said, it loses the big ice weakness. I think it's sort of like, it's kind of like if you look at those 3 from like Gen 4, it's like not quite as like Adbells, but it's more offensive than Uxie, but it's kind of, I think it's like a kind of a niche, not a bad mon, not a great mon, but I think it'll be solid.
It gives him another rocker, basically.
Yeah.
So. Then the only other transactions that occurred this week were mine, where I burned Kyurem for the Mew that Lord Ixie dropped last week, and Superior for Alakazam. Funny thing, I almost drafted Superior until Spy said he wanted it, and then I was like, okay, I could do something else. I'll get Bulu. Bulu would be great with Zard. We'll grab Bulu, so I let him have Serp, and lo and behold, here's Serp. I mean, Kartana put in work versus Mama, but I don't really care for Kartana, to be perfectly honest. I know I've lost my only Steel type. Alakazam is just too frail for me. Just too many issues with it being frail. Also, because Kartana was a Z captain, Mew's a Z captain, and apparently nobody read the rules doc because Mew Z is allowed. I have access to Genesis Supernova with Mew. I'm very happy with these moves. It gives me basically an anything I want mon and another defogger that can also set up with Contrary and Sweep if it wants to. What do you think of my moves, Altaria?
I like these moves a lot, actually. It's funny because like Kartana has like no special defense and Alakazam has like no physical defense. So you kind of swap them for 2 more like well-rounded mons. Fun. Like look at a certain mon and say like, okay, if I can do these 3 coverage moves, Mew can like wreck shop if this one mon goes down. Like Mew can like get a lot of kills. I've seen it used in a format with the Mew Z allowed, so that'll be fun to see if you choose to bring it.
Yeah, I've got plans for these.
I hope you don't.
Hope I don't what?
And I hope you don't. But I hope you don't miss Lee Storm with Superior.
Yeah, my Shaman never missed, but my Snake will probably miss. What about you, Bored? What do you think of my moves?
Music is disgusting. who let you get Muse? Who let you get Muse?
Nobody read the doc. I never banned Muse because Muse you can get around. All you do is check in a dark type.
It's still disgusting how you can get Genesis Supernova so easily. No one like it. I don't know if it was ever drafted. I can't remember if it was drafted or
yeah, Spies drafted it.
Yeah, I can't remember when it was dropped, but who never thought, oh wait, read the rules, people. And then, yeah, Sub just spams Country Leaf Storm forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, so. Lord Ixie's the one that dropped him, because Spies never dropped him. He kept him on his... Was it Spies? Yeah, because Miggle took over for Spies, and then Lord Ixie took over for Miggle. Yep, okay. Yeah, so Mew's been passed around this season. I also
like that you've got a bunch of defensive ones, so Mew isn't forced into being defensive, which is nice.
Yeah. Because
teams are worse when your Mew is forced to be a defensive remover. But hey, you've got Umbreon with Lisco, Jettison, so yeah.
Well, and don't forget, this is Mew with Genesis Supernova that can then get Ninetales in to set up screens, and then no priority against a Mega Zard behind screens. What are you going to do? That's Psychic Terrain screened Zard protection.
I mean, you've just leaked your whole strat, so everyone find counters quickly.
Well, I mean, oh wait, no, because Vikavoult's not grounded, so it doesn't get the Electric Terrain boost. I was going to say I could also just set Electric Terrain and then send Vikavolt out, but Vikavoult's not grounded. So, I don't know. I got plenty of things to do with Mew here, so... moving into Pick'ems here. We've got... where did my thing go? There it is. Okay. We've got Lord Ixie versus Dying Dragoons. This is a clean sweep to Dragoon. I'm sorry, Lord Ixie, but you're gonna just have a bad day against the rain. Why'd you guys pick Dragoon? Start with you, Altaria.
Well, I've only really seen, like, literally that one game from Lord Ixie, and Dragoon's just been pretty consistent all season, so it's kind of like a nothing against Ixie, but trying to show that he's really good.
Yeah, Bored, you know Ixie a little better than Cameruption does.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and quickly pull up the Season 2 doc real quick.
He finished.
I may not be able.
He finished like 3 games ahead of me. I think he ended up. No, he didn't. I think he was like 4-8. He knocked me out of play.
Yeah, I know. He didn't have a great season.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, Lordsy, I should be back here as a PCF gang, but it's rain.
It's
that's
not.
That's all you really need to say.
Yeah. Mumanish versus Slick. Everyone picked Slick. I think everyone picked Slick. I'm just looking. Yeah, everyone picked Slick. Mama, good luck in the D-League. It's just not your season, I'm sorry. That's really all I have to say. Do you guys want to add anything to that, or is it obvious enough?
I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah. I mean, she asked to go down to the D-League, which I was going to ask her anyways, so perfectly fine. It's good. Battle of the Birds. We got Washington Brivaries versus Savage and the Murkrows. This was also a clean sweep. Very unanimous pick'em. Did you guys just copy-paste my pick'ems this week? Like, seriously, you guys have... Well, I guess not. There's some changes, but first 3 matches are all the same. I have played both of these guys. I know both of these guys' playstyles very well. Rise just... He's a little bit better than Savage, and as far as teams go, I think Rai just has a little bit better team as well. And so I think prep and play, unless Rai just preps terribly, I think Savage is in for a hard time this week. What about you, Bored?
Yeah, I very rarely preps badly as a bad game, so Savages may have to put out something very, very good, because otherwise I just think Rai, with experience of, a playoff run into championships, plus momentum in getting a win, like not this week but last week, so and then Savage losing this week, Rai's got himself, so yeah.
What about you, Cameruption?
I think I'm not gonna I think he can possibly win, but Rise here and in APA, he just said he's really good.
Yeah. The only time I have ever beaten Rai was because Rai didn't prep for my Mandibuzz. That's the only reason he didn't beat me, because he brought a double dance Rhydon, and I had nothing for it except for Mandibuzz, but that Mandibuzz was Roost, Iron Defense, Foul Play. That was literally the only reason I beat him, was because I was able to Roost and Foul Play and stalled him out once I got an Iron Defense up. So that's the only time I've ever seen him lose versus me, or in what I've seen in leagues outside of his losses and his very few losses in AP and PCF. It's just not going to be good. Matthias gets to face the Buzzsaw playing Shadow. This is unanimous again for Shadow. Shadow has way too much time to prep and plan and all that. I just don't see Matthias beating him. I don't think either one of you do either, do you?
I learned my lesson last week.
It's a very simple rule, never bet against Shadow.
I will bet against Shadow the last week of the season. I will be picking Rai for that one. I'm going to go ahead and spoil that. I will pick Rai that week. I don't care what it does to my power rank or my pick'ems. I am picking Rai that week. Somebody's going to beat Shadow this season, and it's going to be Rai. End of story.
I mean, I bet against Shadow against meme match against G-Hall, but well,
that's because Shadow didn't bring memes.
Breloom is not a meme, Shadow. I'm still disappointed in you.
I outlined his memes. Special Mega Guard or Mega Glade, Physical Guard of War. There's two memes right there. Anyways, speaking of the other half of that meme battle, we have Ga versus Spare and the Centrets. I really want to pick Ga here, but after talking to him this last week and that, I just don't think his heart's in it anymore. Shadow mentioned in his power rankings that he thinks Ga's the one that's probably going to fall out in that division, fall out of playoffs. I don't think he's wrong. It's just Ga doesn't like running 13-week seasons, and so I think it's going to affect his play, it's going to affect his prep, and I just think Spare's going to take advantage of that and end up sweeping through here. You two disagree with me, as do the fans. So I guess, Bored, why do you think he's going to win this one?
I mean, I didn't really look at the chat too much, so yeah, I can understand that, Central Captain ECF Season 1, which you won part of, but yeah, commitment problems, I guess, but anyway, I still have faith in G-Hall, Versace, Dream, Mean Team, and that they might probably trying to find a set to win.
Yeah, I mean, if Raisachi wanted to take over for Ga, I'd be perfectly okay with it, because Raisachi's on the list of replacements for main, and that would give me a chance to see how he does versus some of the main competition, but maybe coming in when he's got to play the roughest division, his own, might not be the best time to take over.
I mean, it's also going to be funny because it's Mega Lati versus Mega Lati. So let's see which one wins.
Oh yeah, that is true. It's a battle of the Megas. Or Lotties. What about you, Cameruption? What are your thoughts with Ga here?
So I was thinking, I don't know, I'm hearing the context that I didn't really know. I'm maybe regretting this decision, but who knows? I think he's in kind of a do or die spot. I mean, really everyone in that division is. You know, it's like someone's dropping out of the playoff race. You know, don't let it be you type thing. But I don't know. It's just gonna depend on like how his heart, mind, whatever cheesy thing you want to think of it is in this league. Like, you know, if he can kind of hit the ground running, prep really hard, I think he can definitely beat Spare. But I know if he's feeling kind of out of it, then Spare's on a hot streak. So I think this game can really go either way, honestly.
Yeah. We have Damien. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, if looking at it's going to be momentum and like play with Spare versus what I personally think, Jiho also has the better matchup, slightly.
Well, yeah.
In my opinion.
Coco does a lot for him.
Come down to how much matchup affects wins.
Yeah. So moving on, we have Damien versus Clem. Weavals versus Wheels. Let's see here. The fans and I are the only ones to pick Damien. Again, similar to Ga, I think both of you, or at least Cameruption, you missed this conversation back on Thursday when I ended up awarding the forfeit, or maybe it was yesterday, I don't remember when I gave the forfeit out, but Ga and Clem were both talking. They've reached that point in the season where they hate their teams and all that. They're just not happy with it. Now, granted, Clem still has all 4 of his moves. He could make some free agent changes if he wanted. Ga can't. But with both of them talking like that, again, similar with Ga, that's why I kind of picked Damien. I think Damien's not going to prep better. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I think Damien's going to end up playing better because Clem's just not going to be in it as much as he was at the beginning of the season. So, I guess, what's your take on it? Why'd you pick Clem, Camerup?
I think, well, in terms of matchup at least, I think he has some answers for Sans. Like, Tweakin, really good stops to Sans. He can build some sort of sneaky Clefable set to like lure the Excadrill maybe. I don't know. I think the map is solid, but yeah, if Dave's just way more motivated than Clem is, you know, there might not be a lot Clem can do.
Yep. And how about you, Bored?
I mean, I'm still supporting Camerupmemes.co.uk, so
Yep.
I just
Okay.
think very confident. Yeah, no, I agree. He's got answers for Sam, I think. So yeah.
Portland Trailblazers and Crimson versus Nikki and the Houston Hydreigons. Yes, I'm helping Nikki build again, but that's because I need him to beat Crimson, as does Slick and the rest of our division. But I didn't pick him. I honestly think Nikki's going to have a rough ride here. This is, outside of Spare, as we've said, the most broken team in the league. Well, I mean, and then Shadow has a very broken team, but I just don't see how Nikki can get through this without pulling something out of thin air, which is not something I'm going to be able to do. He's going to have to get help from like Savage or someone else for him to really stand a chance, but I don't know. You seem to disagree, though, Altaria. Why are you with the fans and picking Nikki here?
Hey, I thought I picked Crimson.
Wait, am I looking at... Do I have you two flipped? I'm sorry, Bored, why did you pick Nikki?
You're looking at Bored.
Yes, it's me. I have faith, I guess. I don't know. Upset special, sure. Why not? That's about it.
Alright, fine. We'll go with that. I guess... Cameruption, why do you agree with me then?
Crimson's just on a hot streak right now. Like, early season, just kind of floating around like 500. These past weeks, he's just been in it. Like, what cracks about Crimson's team is that even though like everyone says and kind of knows it's like a super broken team, it's not even like the crazy broken ones that are kittens.
Yeah,
Bloom Doom Kabutops or the Chestnut last week. Like, it's all these other months too.
Yeah, we'll get to that here.
I think it's got really good into like sucking people into these like major threats and just being with like Muck or Chestnut.
Yeah, and then finally, desperation match here. Huff and the New York Tangs versus myself. I don't get a say in this one, but the fans apparently like me. You guys don't. Why don't you guys support me, Bored?
Okay. So, I don't know. I just think.
Come on, help me beat Huff. I gotta play him tomorrow. Help me beat Huff. What? Tell me what you think he's gonna do to me.
Oh, because I can't predict Huff. That's the problem. We all know Huff. He's gonna pull out some wacky with single over, and it's just gonna 6-0 you. It's just gonna happen. I'm sorry.
Ouch! Don't drop the 6-0 on me. Don't curse me with the 6-0. I've avoided the 6-0 this season. Don't curse me with it.
If you get 6-0 now, I'm getting banned. I already know it.
What about you, Cameruption? Why don't you support me?
I know. I think. It's like a nothing personal thing. I think I'd say slightly more consistent. It's like I think it's like 3-5 versus 4-4 in terms of records right now.
Yeah.
I just feel he can pull out something crazy.
I quit trying to think of whatever he could pull off crazy. Like he could bring. What was I thinking about earlier? He's probably gonna bring like Hustle Sub, Focus Punch, Raticate, or something like that. Something crazy that I don't even know exists. And it's just gonna beat me down. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a viable set. Anywho,
Oh, yeah, I don't even know if it gets Focus Punch.
Yeah. Kill leaders, and I just made a big boo-boo, because I put the Mons up there, but I didn't actually change the kill leader differentials. So, anyways, Mega Gardevoir, Gallade, not Gardevoir, Mega Gallade is still sitting in first at 18-0 plus 18. Still sitting in second. Oh, okay. I'm trying to fix this, and this isn't working. Mega Medi at 14-4 plus 10, firmly grasping second position. Terrakion is still sitting in third at 11-4 plus 7. Third. I'm changing this live as I'm talking. Swampert has jumped up onto the board now, into fourth at 10-4 plus 6 in fourth. Huff in that damn frog is still on the kill leader board. Let's see here, I'm looking at the dock as I do this. 10 kills, 5 deaths, plus 5. Seismitoad and Mega Swampert being back-to-back is really, really crazy for me. To see two of basically the exact same Mon sitting back-to-back. Breloom is still on the board. That stupid thing shouldn't be on this board. 9-2 plus 7 in 6th. Alolan Muck has come out of nowhere. Just absolutely came out of nowhere. And is sitting at 9-4 plus 5 into 7th position. 9-4 plus 5. Gone is Scolipede are still hanging on. Scolipede is now 8-1 still. Hasn't really picked up a kill since it just ran through me at plus 7. Victini is sticking around on the board at 8-2 plus 6. And Ferrothorn has made the kill leader board at 8-5 plus 3. Unfortunately, if anyone cared, Gliscor finally fell off the leaderboard. Still in 11th, still in the top 20 at 8-6 plus 2, but Gliscor fell off. I'm still blown away by this kill leaderboard. Every week I'm blown away by it. Terrakion makes sense. Megamedi makes sense. Gallade depends on the league. Victini makes sense. What doesn't make sense? Seismitoad, Ferrothorn, Alolan Muck. In a league that allows Protean Greninja, Magearna, the 2 Lotties, we don't see Kyurem Black, which is normally a staple on kill leader boards. No Tapu Koko. Like, what's going on with this league's kill leaders? I don't understand it. I've never been in a league where this is your kill leader board.
I mean, I think it's just fitting that Gliscor got on just equally dumb ones in this kill leader.
I don't know. I'm waiting for Huff to get Seismitoad to kill leader. This is the week Huff gets Seismitoad to kill leader. He just 6-0s me with it. Actually, that's not even enough, because Shadow's got 18 on that thing. So, I mean,
the thing is, Seismitoad hasn't even got a single physical water move, which is dumb because it has a better physical attack stat, but it gets nothing. So the fact that it's still top 5 kill leaders is
Yeah, are you talking Seismitoad or are you talking Tapu Bulu? Because Tapu Bulu's the same thing.
No, Seismitoad literally gets 0 stab water move.
Yeah, Tapu Bulu gets 0 stab physical fairy moves.
Yeah, fair.
But anyways, so moving on into, I am going to bring up the playoffs here because we are 2/3 of the way through the league's season now. Would you calm down, dog? I will put you out here in just a minute. We're almost done, okay? You've been a good girl so far. Just relax. Furry little monster. Looking at the conference, in the Orange Conference, Crimson is leading the Orange Conference at 5-3. I mean, 5 of your 5 teams out of 8 are at 5-3 records right now. Somebody's gonna be disappointed out of there when that all comes crashing, or when the season comes to an end. Ugh, wow. Okay. But followed right behind him is Matthias and the Togekiss. Matthias and Crimson are your 2 division leaders. If playoffs were to end today, or season were to end today, playoffs started today, you would see a matchup of Ga versus the Togekiss and Clem versus Crimson and the Blazikins, with Savage unfortunately being the odd man out. He is currently last in his division. As far as Miken goes, you can see everyone's 5-3 in Miken. Like, that's going to take some time to get figured out. They're going to have to fight it out amongst themselves. Naval Division, on the other hand, currently is Crimson's to lose, but Slick and I are only 2 games back, and 3 games is all it takes for Lord Ixie. Over on the Indigo side, Shadow is just sitting comfortably, cruise control with a 3-game and plus, I don't know, what is that, plus 19 differential over the next team, which is Dragoon in second. Dragoon, if the season ended today, you'd see Dragoon versus Damien, a rematch from earlier this season, which would be interesting to see. Rain versus Sand again, because I believe Damien won that match. And that's when Dragoon started to get hot again. And then you'd see the returning champ, Spare, take on who's more than likely going to be the Season 2 champ in Shadow, with Huff just missing because of his differential. And looking in division-wise, Damien's gonna have to definitely keep it going because while his differential sucks, Rye is only one game behind both Spare and Damien and Huff for getting into playoffs. All it would take is a 6-0 from Rye to put himself in a very good striking distance to get himself into playoffs. I'm sure Shadow doesn't want to see that, but that's where it's at. Over in Kumquat, Dragoon is only up a game, but he's got such a massive differential lead that even if he drops a game unexpectedly, Huff's not going to overtake him. Nikki's in a really tough spot at 2-6. He's back 3 games with 4 to go, and he's also back 2 games and a lot of differential to go for a wild card spot. Mama, we all know, is probably not making playoffs, but everyone's still alive somehow. All 16 teams are still alive. I guess final thoughts from you, Bored, on the playoff race right now.
Yes, playoff race is so wide open, and I feel for Mike, because I remember when I did league, I haven't done it a bit because time issues. But anyway, I remember going 9-6 in the league and missing out on the differential because of how bad my division was to play in. So someone in my is going to be disappointed, and that is just unfortunate. But odds on Mama wins out and wins the league.
I think you're better off playing the lottery than trying to bet that. But the other thing that I guess none of us have considered with Mikan, though, is they all still have to play each other, and if they, let's say, each split, they all go 2-2 in that division against each other, putting them all at 7-5, and then they obviously have this week still to play. Depending on what happens over in Naval, if, say, Slick or I were to win out, that'd put us at 8-5 with potential shenanigans happening. I mean, it's not out of the question for Naval to send a second team, but I don't know. That's where this gets a little crazy to me, is because Naval still could potentially send a wild card. We'll see after all this talk of Mike and sending 3. But how about you, Cameruption? What are your thoughts on remaining thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's I don't know. Mike is wild. With divisions, there's always the god tier division, and that's what it is as of right now, at least. But I don't know. I think Naval does have potential, possibly, given just the discussions that you mentioned earlier about the clan and the D-Hall about out of it. So
I denied all allegations of coercion between coaches trying to take down Crimson. That's not a thing. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so I think that's where we're gonna wrap it, guys. There's your 2/3 of the way season recap for playoffs as the race heats up, and that once we move into division games next week, well, I guess we're playing division games next week. You won't see it for 2 weeks. We'll start bringing playoffs in more. Transactions are probably closing down for the most part. Everyone's out of them, so we'll spend less time on that, more time on that. With that being said, we are at 11 or an hour and 15 minutes. Plenty of time for anyone that decided to stick around and watch this. I can't thank both Bored and Cameruption enough. Bored, you don't have a YouTube channel, so I can't shout that out for you. But Cameruption does have a YouTube channel. Please go check that out. His link will be in the description down below. Again, I want to thank both of you for being here, especially for an hour and 15 minutes. I didn't anticipate that, but it is what it is. Any last thoughts from the two of you before we close this thing out?
Not really. Thanks for having us.
Right.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Links in the description down below. Cameruption's YouTube. Shadow's YouTube's down there. Griffin Feather's my amazing artist who does all the artwork for the Weather Gamer channel. His Twitter is down there. Twitch, I'm throwing this out there, final plug. I am Twitch streaming tomorrow, hopefully Gmod, so come stop by the Twitch, get into a game. Hopefully we got this worked out now. I've spent all week working on it so we can play with people, internet providing, whatever. And Discord. Check out the Weather Gamer Discord. That's the last link down there. WWC Season 3 will be in there. Come check it out. Cameruption's not in that Discord, now that I think about it. So he's going to have to jump.
Join that.
He's going to need to jump over there if he's going to come back for Season 3, either as a coach or an analyst. And if you come there, you can always harass Bored, because he's there, and see if you can get Bored to rage, because it's always fun watching Bored be sarcastic in pick'ems and power rankings. So that's it. I've outroed long enough. See you guys next time. I'm going to get out of here.